What's up, guys? Welcome back to Almost Functional 40K. Back with revisiting the indexes. Today we're going to be jumping into the Deathwatch. I'm going to go through all the Marine variants, just get that out of the way first, and then start rolling into some of the other ones. So Deathwatch, their army rule is kill teams. It's just they have the kill teams that you can basically combine different units together to make big units. Like infiltrators, incursors, eliminators, like all those can join into a unit. Eradicators, aggressors, like all the gravis, then like all your firstborn stuff like terminators, regular bikes, jump packs, just stuff like that. Um, and they keep a lot of their weapon options and rules, but they also lose some too. Like infiltrators in those, I believe they're called Spectrus kill teams, don't get the 12-inch deep strike deny, but they can still get the 6-up feel no pain for the unit. Uh, and then, yeah, so units that couldn't normally get in a transport can, as long as they're part of the unit. Bikes and outriders uh, basically can move through walls like infantry, just stuff like that. And then, and that's on top of Oath of the Moment. They still do get Oath of the Moment. That just basically explains how their kill teams work. Uh, then their Black Force Black Spear Task Force. This is actually a pretty good detachment if you're running Deathwatch. I would recommend this, especially if you're teching hard into the kill teams, because there's some really nice strats that really go well with the kill teams. Uh, so these are stuff you can't include. Can't take scouts, can't take sniper scouts, tactical squads, assault squads, attack bikes, devastator squads, land speeders, or land speeder storms. So then you basically, just like Marines, instead of the combat doctrines, you get your tactics. Each can be done only once per battle. So you can choose the Furor tactics, which gives your army sustained hits 1, the Malleus tactic, which gives your army lethal hits, and the Pergadus tactic, which on critical hits gives you precision. So, like Genestealer Cult or something like that that's running a lot of characters, you could pop this and maybe pick a bunch of those out in the same turn if you get line of sight to them. Uh, so, just different abilities than the Marine ones. I do really like the Marine. I like the combat doctrines better than the tactics in general. But if you're going kill teams, you'll see in a minute the stratagems you get for them are just better than the Marine strats for the kill team specifically. So it's worth, these are still okay because it's worth losing combat doctrines and getting this to have access to these strats. So the first strat is Armor Contempt. That's the same as Marines. Adaptive Tactics. You can basically put one of your units into. So, in a lot of these you can do 2 kill teams or 1 other unit. So, this is the same 2 kill teams or 1 other unit. You can put them into any of the tactics, even if you've already used it. So, that's really nice. It's just like the Marine have the same thing for doctrines, except this, if you put it on kill teams, you can do 2 units, and it's still only 1 CP, so that's really nice. The Teleportarium, once again, up to 2 kill teams or 1 other unit, 1 other infantry. You can basically, at the end of your opponent's fight phase, you can put one of your units back into reserve and then bring them back in your reinforcement steps. You can't do it if you're engaged, but this just gives so much mobility and flexibility to the army. And then you have 3 different type of rounds. First one is Hellfire, and once again, 2 kill teams or 1 other unit. You can give the whole unit Anti-Infantry 2 and Anti-Monster 5 plus. This does not work on devastating wound weapons. It did when it first came out, and they were doing like 60 mortal wounds with these units, and it was just really dumb. So it doesn't work on devastating wound weapons, but on anything else, it's really strong. Then you get the Kraken rounds. This is probably my favorite one. the one I use the most when I'm playing Deathwatch. Once again, 2 kill teams or one other unit. Um, you basically improve your AP by 1 and improve your range by 6. So that's really nice, especially for stuff that has like rapid fire. You just basically gain 3 inches on your rapid fire too. Then Dragonfire rounds, up to 2 kill teams or one other unit. Your whole unit gets ignore, cover, and assault. That's really nice if you need it. Um, so those are pretty nice strats. The Teleportarium is the biggest one, and then the Adaptive Tactics is really nice. And then the other 3 are just situational. You can whatever you need. You're fighting big stuff. You need a little extra AP, fighting custodes or something. You just need to be able to advance and get into range that turn, or someone's tanking in cover. You just get rid of their cover. And you cannot duplicate rounds. You can't put multiple rounds on the same unit. So you can only use 1 unit per turn per unit. Then their enhancements are pretty good. We have Thief of Secrets, which is improve the strength, damage, armor penetration characteristic of the bearer's melee weapons by 1. If an enemy model is destroyed as a result of a melee attack made by the bearer, till the end of the battle, improve the strength, damage, and armor penetration character of the bearer's melee weapons by 2 instead. And it's not hard to kill a single character. A lot of stuff like this triggers off killing units. This one is just kill a character, so that's pretty easy to do. So I know a lot of people, me too, are running this on the captain in their Deathwatch. Some people do Lightning Claw. I personally am running a Thunderhammer just because I've always liked Thunderhammers. Then we have the Osseous Key, which goes on a Watchmaster or Tech Marine only. At the start of your opponent's shooting phase, select one enemy vehicle unit, excluding Titanic, within 12 invisible. That model must take a leadership test. If passed, until the end of the phase, the model is -1 to hit. If it fails, it can't even shoot that turn. If you get that to go off, it's really, really huge. Most of the time, you just may giving them -1 to hit because that goes off even if they pass. You do have to get your character within 12 inches, and it has to be a Watchmaster or Tech Marine specifically. So that's okay, but I don't know how often you're going to want to put them within range of something you're not going to actually plan on killing that turn. Beacon at Jealous. Model and the bearer's units have Deep Strike. In addition, you can rapid ingress for 0 CP. That's really nice. Tomb of Ectoclades. This is probably the best one. Watchmaster or Captain. Once per battle, after you've selected an enemy unit using Oath of the Moment ability in your command phase, the bearer can use this enhancement if they are on the battlefield. When they do, select a second enemy unit until the start of your next command phase. Each time an Adeptus Astartes model from your army makes an attack that targets either of those enemy units, you can reroll a hit roll and you can reroll a wound roll. So basically, one turn you get to double Oath, and it's not like the Gilliman double Oath. They're both Oath the whole time. You don't have to kill the first unit first. So that's really nice. It's, I believe, 40 points, so it's a little pricey, but I think you bring this every time. Then we roll down into the Watchmaster. Pretty generic profile here. He's got the Vigil Spear, which is 2 attacks, strength 4, 2 damage. And then in combat, it has Lance, so it's +1 to wound on the charge. 6 attacks, strength 6, -2, D3 damage. That's a decent profile. And then here's where stuff is nice. His unit's able to declare shoot and declare a charge in a turn in which it advanced or fell back. So that just gives you some real flexibility. And then once for battle, after your opponent uses a stratagem, if this model is your warlord and is on the battlefield, you can use the ability. If it does, until the end of the battle, increase the cost of stratagem to your opponent by 1. So just another vect, just increasing 1 CP. And if you've been watching some of the other index videos, I really like these abilities, especially in Imperium, because you can take an assassin and double up on it, and it just gets really limits what your opponent can do, changes basically how their whole list functions, because a lot of times they have 1 or 2 key strats they kind of function off of, and Deathwatch do the same thing. You do this their Teleportarium or whatever, one of their rounds works best against your army. That really neuters the effectiveness and mobility of this list. So anytime you're able to do that to people, it's really nice. You can join the Deathwatch Veterans or the Proteus Kill Team. You normally put them in the Proteus Kill Team. I think that's the best kill team. personally. So we'll see when we get down to them. I'll get into that a little more. Then we got watch. Excuse me. Sorry about that. All right, we got watch Captain Artemis. He has the Hellfire Extremis, anti-infantry 4, devastating wounds, a D6 shot, strength 4, AP 1/1 damage. It is torrent, so it auto hits. It's not bad. Just a mastercrafted power weapon, but he gets 6 attacks with it. He has a Feel No Pain 6, Tactical Instinct. While this model is leading a unit, you can target that unit with a stratagem, even if the stratagem has already been used on another unit from your army this phase. In addition, can use a stratagem on them even while battle shocked. This is a pretty nice ability. You don't get the strat for free, which I like better. So I'd probably bring a captain, just a generic captain instead. And then this other one, Unstoppable Champion. The first time this model is destroyed, roll 1d6. In the phase, on 2 up, set it model back up on the battlefield as close as possible, not within engagement range with 1 wound. So that's okay. This is okay. This is great. I think you just bring a regular captain and then give him Thief of Secrets, and I think he just hits a lot harder, and he's just doing the same thing, but the strat's free. It's just if you get battle shocked, you're not getting stratagems. Uh, so he can join the veterans or the kill team or the Proteus kill team. This is Kill Team Cassius. This is a kill team full of just all named people. So just got a bunch of weapon options. While the chaplain's leading the unit, their melee weapons have devastating wounds. Each time they take a battle shock or leadership, you can reroll. And then basically each one of these guys has a set specific set of weapons he takes. Uh, it's kind of cool. It's fluffy. It's just what they do is kind of all over the place. They're not kind of really doing one thing really well. They just do a little bit of a lot, but none of it really well. So I don't think you bring this unless you're playing like narrative or something. But then we got the Deathwatch veterans. Take frag cannons, missile launchers, and furnace heavy bolters. So some decent weapon loadouts. Each time a model's unit makes an attack, reroll a hit roll of 1. If the target of the attack does not have Imperium or Chaos, you can reroll a hit roll instead. So you reroll once, and if you're fighting Xenos, you reroll all your hits. They're cool. This is just the generic little battle line for Deathwatch. You can take them. You don't have to take them. Not a must take, but not a don't take. They're fine. Then we got the Deathwatch Terminators. Once again, Terminator, a lot of Terminator. They get the plasma cannon. You send in a charge move. Enemy unit must take a battle shock test. That's cool. They get the teleport homer so they can do the rapid ingress for 0 CP. They don't get the thing other Terminators have where you can't modify their ballistic skill and stuff. And they get +1 against your Oath target. So that's kind of interesting that they're missing that. But once again, I don't think you take just a pure Terminator squad. I think you really do take the kill teams. Same with the bike squad. You can take a long vigil melee weapon. You can take a Xenophase blade or a ranged weapon, and then the melee weapon. They're okay. It's just slightly different options than a regular bike squad. If you have a specific thing you want them to do, you take them. The Corvus Black Star. I'm not a big fan of flyers right now. Just they're so hard to hide, and everything's good at killing vehicles right now. So, not a big fan of flyers currently. But he does have stealth, which is nice, and he can drop mortal wound bombs on people just by moving over them. So that's cool. So it's on a 5 up though. So on average, doing 2 mortal wounds. You can give him ignore cover, or you can give him the smoke keyword. I believe he has to choose between the two. Got some decent weapon options. It's not horrible, but I don't think flyers are really worth their points right now. The Proteus kill team. This is probably what I consider the best data sheet in the Deathwatch Index. So what you can do is you can take you have to take 5 veterans, and you can take up to 10, and you can't take more than 10 models. You can take up to 4 jump pack guys, up to 2 bikes, up to 4 Terminators. So what I've found I'm liking running right now is 5 veterans, 4 Terminators, and 1 bike. I give 3 of the Terminators assault cannons, so you could go with Cyclone missile launchers or something like that if you preferred. Um, Thunderhammer shield on the 4th Termi just for tank and wounds. Then you take 4 frag cannons on the vets, and you take storm or a Stardy shield on another one just for tank and wounds. And then probably take 2 of these units, and I put a Watchmaster in one and a Captain in the other, and just use the Captain's free CP for teleport area. I'm warping them around. Uh, the 18 shots from the assault cannons with Oath of the Moment, and if you pop the sustained hits, and you give them +1 AP, so on most stuff you're averaging like 7 mortal wounds on top of any other damage you get in. Um, and then the frag cannons, once if you use the extra 6-inch range, which is also the extra AP, you're rapid firing at 12, which is 2d6 shots each, so you're averaging 4 shots a guy at strength 7, -2 damage at that point. And then with sustained hits and Oath of the Moment that turn, or if the turns are in lethal hits, uh, this unit just puts out a lot of shooting. Uh, yeah, this put out a lot of damage. Um, and then, yeah, once again, you take 2 of them, and every time you pop one of those strats, you can affect both of them. So it's just really like the Proteus. I think they are the best kill team. The Fortis kill team. This is your intercessors and outriders. So this is going to be like what all is in here? What are in the intercessor? Oh, Hellblasters, um, intercessors, assault intercessors. Your plasma incinerators. That's the Hellblasters. Heavy bolt pistol. That's the assault, and then them. So each time they makes an attack that targets the units below half strength, add 1 to the hit roll. So get +1 to hit if a unit they're targeting is below half strength. Uh, if I also say like the plasma incinerators are good. You could take up to 4 of those. So I could see take it because you have to take 5 regular intercessors. So you can take 4 of those and then throw in a bike or throw in 1 assault intercessor. Uh, they're okay. They're more of a tactical unit. Uh, but I don't. At that point, you just take like a 5-man intercessor. But they're more expensive than regular intercessors. So at that point, I'd say just take regular intercessors because you get the sticky objectives, or take like incursors or infiltrators just to get the extra rules they give you. Either the +1 hit for the army from intercessors, or the deep strike deny from the infiltrators. So Fortis kill team's okay, but I think there's other stuff that does more for less points. Then you got the Indomitor kill team. This is going to be your uh, Inceptors, Aggressors, Eradicators. So this unit is T6 on everything. So you can take a Power Fist, that's the Aggressors, Heavy Intercessors, Melta Rifles, Jump Packs. So you got to take 5 Heavy Intercessors, which have decent shots. Then you can take 2 Eradicators, I'd take 2 Eradicators and 2 Inceptors, and then just take 1 Aggressor. I don't hate that unit. That's a really big, tough unit. Normally, you can only take these type of guys in up to 6 mans. So now you got a big 10-man T6 3-wound unit that puts out some decent shooting if you take the plasma and the meltas, and then just take the bolter or the flamer on the aggressor. Uh, I'm not currently running it, but that's not. I don't hate that unit, especially since they can benefit from all the kill team stuff. You take like a Gravis Captain or something, put it in there if you want to do that instead of the Proteus. Um, I can see that being right. There's definitely going to be a little more survivable, or it is harder to wound because of the toughness. Although, The Proteus does get the Terminator, so they have the better save, and you get all the invols from the shields and the Terminators. Uh, so this is kind of, I still like Proteus a little better, but I don't hate the Indomitor kill team. Then the Spectre's kill team. This is the Infiltrators, Reavers, Intercessors, or Incursors, stuff like that, Eliminators. They can go back into reserve at the end of your turn if they're more than 6 inches away from all enemy units, or at the end of your opponent's turn. So I really like that. That's really cool. They still get the Feel No Pain and the Comms Array. The only thing I don't like is I like to run 1 to 2 units of regular Infiltrators for the Deep Strike Deny. So I'd have to really paint them differently to make them stand out, not to get confused with my regular Infiltrators. And they're more expensive than regular Infiltrators, so with the other units being able to go back in the Teleportarium, I don't see the need to take this unit. I just take the regular Infiltrators and just save the points and just get the Deep Strike Deny instead of the go back in reserve. But if you wanted to really tech into that warping off the table, you could take a unit or two of these with the other kill teams, use the Teleportarium, and just all over the place. That's I don't hate that. That's really kind of cool. Um, it's just more than I want to have to deal with right now. And I like having the Infiltrators to guard my back line. If this unit also got the 12-inch Deep Strike Deny, I would take them every time. Because you could use the 12-inch Deep Strike Deny during your opponent's movement phase, and at the end of their turn, disappear, and then come back where you want to go. But since you have to choose between the two, I personally, with all the Deep Strike armies and reserve armies that are doing fairly well right now, I just like regular Infiltrators better. But this unit is definitely interesting. So that's it for Deathwatch. They don't have as many unique units as a lot of the other stuff. Just basically a couple characters and then all the kill teams. But I really like them. I think they're really strong. They're one of the 2 armies I put up in the poll to see what I can take to RTT this Saturday. They are losing to the Space Wolves currently. So we'll see who wins. Friday morning I will determine the results of the poll and then make a video about which list I'm taking and stuff. But so we have until, what's today, Wednesday, so we have about 2 more days of voting before I know for sure which one I'm taking. But currently Deathwatch are losing. But that's it for now. I will catch you guys next time. Have a good day.